Good evening, and welcome back to Stories to Sleep. Before we begin tonight's journey, if you enjoy these deep explorations into mythology and lore, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue creating these immersive stories, and it ensures you never miss an episode. Now, settle in, get comfortable, and let us begin. Tonight, we embark on something different. Not a single mythology, not one culture's tales, but a journey that spans the sleeping consciousness of humanity itself. We follow a traveler who exists between waking and dreaming, one who has discovered that the boundaries between sleep and myth are thinner than gossamer, more permeable than morning mist. This is the story of the Dreamwalker, and through their eyes, we shall visit the dream realms of cultures spanning millennia and continents. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the weight of your body against where you rest. Notice your breath, steady and rhythmic. In this liminal space between full awareness and the first tendrils of sleep, you're entering the same threshold our traveler discovered long ago. A place where consciousness can slip sideways, where the mind becomes untethered from time and space, where one might step into the dreams that entire civilizations have dreamed together. Our traveler has no name that matters. Names are anchors to a single reality, and this wanderer has learned to drift free from such moorings. What matters is the gift they possess, or perhaps the curse, depending on which night you ask them. The ability to dreamwalk, not merely to dream vividly, but to consciously navigate the dreamscape, to step from their own sleeping mind into the collective unconscious of cultures both living and long vanished in a history's embrace. This gift emerged slowly, as such things do. Perhaps it began with dreams that felt too real, too detailed, filled with knowledge the dreamer should not possess. Ancient words and languages never studied. The taste of foods never eaten. The weight of garments never worn. The dreamer would wake with the residue of these experiences clinging to consciousness like cobwebs, impossible to fully brush away. Then came the night of realization. The night the dreamer recognized a figure from one dream appearing in another. A woman with obsidian eyes and knowing smile who existed across different dreamscapes, different times, different mythologies. She was the first to speak the truth aloud, in a dream set in a cave painted with ochre handprints that predated written history. "You walk between," she said, her voice carrying harmonics that seemed to resonate from the stone itself. "Not all who sleep can do what you do. You have learned to find the pathways, the songlines that connect all human dreaming. You are what my people called Ngankuri, what others name shaman, seer, dreamwalker. You travel the invisible roads." From that night forward, the traveler learned to navigate deliberately, to find within the formless void of sleep the specific resonances of different cultural dreamscapes. Each mythology, it turned out, possessed its own dream signature, its own frequency in the vast spectrum of human consciousness. The Norse dreams crackled with the energy of approaching Ragnarok, heavy with fate and prophecy. The Egyptian dreams flowed with the structured order of Ma'at, each symbol precisely meaningful. The Aboriginal dreams pulsed with the rhythmic heartbeat of the eternal dreaming, where time coils back upon itself. Tonight, we walk with this traveler. We will visit the dream myths of numerous cultures, seeing through their eyes what it means to dreamwalk into the living mythology of people scattered across the globe and throughout history. We will learn what these cultures knew about dreams, about the spaces between waking and sleeping, about the power of consciousness to traverse realms that materialist science insists cannot exist. And perhaps, as you listen and drift toward your own sleep, you too might catch a glimpse of these pathways. You might feel the tug of a dream current pulling you toward one of these mythic realms. For the gift of dreamwalking, though rare, is not impossible. It lies dormant in many, waiting only for recognition, for permission to emerge. So let us begin our journey. Let us follow the Dreamwalker through the night realms of humanity's oldest stories. We start, as seems fitting, with the peoples who perhaps understood dreamwalking better than any others who have walked the earth. The Dreamwalker feels the shift in consciousness that signals the beginning of the journey. The familiar sensation of their bedroom, their body, their life begins to dissolve. Not frighteningly, but gently, like ink diffusing through water. They have learned over many nights to recognize this moment, to neither resist nor force it, but simply to allow the transition. Tonight, they seek the dreamscape of the Plains peoples, particularly the Lakota and Oglala Sioux traditions. They attune their consciousness to the resonance they have come to recognize. The vast openness of prairie under endless sky, the rhythm of drumbeats that seem to pulse from the earth itself, the smoke of sacred fires carrying prayers upward. The transition completes. The Dreamwalker finds themselves standing on grassland that stretches in every direction toward horizons impossibly distant. The grass moves in waves, rippling like water beneath wind, and the wind itself carries voices, songs, words and languages both familiar and strange. The sky overhead blazes with more stars than should be visible, and those stars seem closer somehow, as if one might reach up and touch them. This is not merely a dream of the prairie. This is the dream realm as understood by the Plains peoples. A place where the boundaries between earth and sky, between physical and spiritual, grow thin enough to traverse. The Dreamwalker breathes deeply, and the air tastes of sage and sweetgrass, of tobacco and cedar. A figure approaches from the distance, though they appear instantly without seeming to have crossed the intervening space. This is one of the laws of the dream realm. Distance operates differently here. The figure is an elder, though whether man or woman remains ambiguous. They wear traditional dress decorated with intricate beadwork and quill work, and their face carries the deep lines of one who has seen many seasons. You walk between the worlds, the elder says. It is not a question. You have learned to find the pathways. This is good. But to truly understand the dreaming of my people, you must understand what you seek. You must understand why we dreamwalk. The Dreamwalker nods respectfully. They have learned that in these dream encounters, the figures they meet are not mere symbols or projections of their own mind. They are, in some sense, they don't fully understand real. They carry knowledge the Dreamwalker does not consciously possess. They speak truths that must be heard with full attention. Among my people, the elder continues, those who walk the dream do so in service. The shaman, the medicine person, the Dreamwalker, they travel these pathways not for themselves alone, but for the people. They seek wisdom from the ancestors. They commune with the spirits. They find answers to questions that cannot be answered in the waking world. The elder gestures and the landscape shifts. They stand now at the edge of an encampment. Lodges stretch in a great circle, smoke rising from their tops. People move about their daily tasks, but something about them seems translucent, slightly unreal. These are the people as they were, the elder explains. This is the dream of how things were, how things should be, how things might be again. The Dreamwalker can journey here, can learn from this dream of the people. Another gesture, and they stand before a sweat lodge, its frame of willow bent into a dome, covered with hides and blankets. The vision quest, the elder says, the Inapi ceremony. We deliberately enter altered states to receive visions, to dreamwalk even while awake. We fast, we pray, we purify ourselves in the sacred lodge. We seek the visions that will guide us. The Dreamwalker understands. In many native traditions, the boundary between waking visions and sleeping dreams grows deliberately blurred. Both are forms of contact with the sacred. Both are pathways to knowledge that exist beyond ordinary consciousness. Come, the elder says, I will show you a true dream walk as it was practiced. The scene shifts again. They stand now in darkness, inside a space that feels both enclosed and infinite. The Dreamwalker recognizes they are inside a sweat lodge, experiencing it from within the dream realm. Heat presses against them, but it is a heat of purification, not discomfort. In the center glows a pit of stones, radiating warmth in a deep red light. Around the stones sit several figures, barely visible in the dim radiance. They are chanting, their voices weaving together in complex harmonies that seem to resonate not just in the air, but in the fabric of reality itself. The Dreamwalker feels the chant entering their bones, their blood, their breath. This is the doorway. The elder's voice comes from everywhere and nowhere. This is where the Dreamwalker begins the journey. The heat, the darkness, the chant, these open the pathways. The consciousness loosens from the body. The spirit becomes free to travel. One of the figures the Dreamwalker suddenly recognizes is leaving their body. Not dramatically, not with effort, but simply separating. A luminous form rises from the seated physical form, and for a moment, both exist simultaneously. Then the luminous form moves upward and outward, passing through the hide covering of a lodge as if it were not there. The Dreamwalker follows, and they too pass through the lodge covering, emerging into a night sky that is transformed into something beyond normal night. The stars have arranged themselves into patterns of profound meaning. The constellations are not the familiar ones of Western astronomy, but the star paths recognized by the people. The fallen stars, the racetrack, the hand. The spirit form they follow flies now, soaring over the prairie. But this is not the physical prairie. This is the spirit prairie, and it is populated with entities invisible to ordinary sight. Buffalo that glow with inner light move in vast herds. Wolves made of starlight pace along ridgelines. Birds of impossible colors wheel through the air. This is the realm the Dreamwalker navigates. The elder says, present again beside the Dreamwalker, though they too are now in spirit form. Here, we can travel great distances in moments. Here, we can speak with the animal spirits, learn their wisdom. Here, we can find those who are lost, both living and dead. Here, we can see what was, what is, and what might be. They descend to a place where an elder sits before a fire, though this elder seems more solid, more real than the spirit forms around them. This is one who has passed, the elder guide explains. The Dreamwalker can visit the ancestors, can seek their counsel. The dead are not gone, not truly. They dwell here in the spirit realm, and they can be reached through dreamwalking. The seated ancestor looks up as they approach. The Dreamwalker feels the weight of that gaze, ancient and knowing. You are learning, the ancestor says. You are walking the path. But remember, this gift is not yours alone. It belongs to the people. The Dreamwalker must serve. They must bring back what they learn. They must heal, guide, warn, teach. The ability to walk between worlds is a sacred trust. The scene shifts once more, and the Dreamwalker finds themselves in a different setting entirely. They stand now in what feels like a vast cave, though the walls seem made of something other than stone. Paintings cover every surface, but these paintings move and shift, telling stories that unfold before the watcher's eyes. The dreamtime of different peoples, the elder explains. Among some nations, they speak of dreamtime, the eternal now when the world was sung into being. Among others, they speak of the time before time when the spirits shaped the earth. These dreamscapes connect, but each is distinct. You have learned to find the pathways between them. The paintings show creation stories, stories of how the world came to be, how humans came to be, how each nation found its home and purpose. The Dreamwalker watches one sequence that shows the first Dreamwalker, a figure who discovered they could slip free of their body during sleep and travel the spirit realm. That is the beginning, the elder says. The first human to recognize they were not bound to their flesh during sleep. The first to consciously direct their dreaming. All Dreamwalkers descend in spirit, if not in blood, from that first one who learned to walk between. The paintings shift to show the training of Dreamwalkers. Young people undertaking vision quests, fasting alone in the wilderness, waiting for the visions that would reveal their path. Some returned with the gift of dreamwalking awakened within them. They would then train under established dreamwalkers, learning the techniques, the protections, the wisdom necessary to navigate the spirit realm safely. There are dangers, the elder says, and their tone grows more serious. The spirit realm is not all ancestors and animal guides. There are entities here that would harm the unwary. There are places one should not go, knowledge one should not seek. The Dreamwalker must learn discrimination, must learn protection. As if in demonstration, the scene darkens. Something moves at the edge of perception, something that radiates malevolence and hunger. The Dreamwalker feels a chill that has nothing to do with temperature. The evil spirits, the elder says, the demons, as some call them, they dwell here too, and they are drawn to Dreamwalkers like moths to flame. They seek to possess, to corrupt, to destroy. This is why the training is necessary. This is why the Dreamwalker must be strong in spirit, pure in intention. The elder begins to chant, and the darkness retreats. The malevolent presence withdraws, unable to withstand the power of the sacred words. The songs, the prayers, the ceremonies, these are our protections. The Dreamwalker must carry these always, even in dreams, especially in dreams. The landscape brightens, returning to the starlit prairie. The elder turns to face the Dreamwalker directly. You have seen much. You understand more than you did. But know this, what I have shown you is but a fraction of what dreamwalking means to my people. Each nation, each tribe, each clan has their own traditions, their own understanding. The Lakota dreamwalk differently than the Dina, the Navajo differently than the Hopi, the Cherokee differently than the Ojibwe. What unites us, the elder continues, is the recognition that dreams are real, that the spirit realm exists, that consciousness can travel beyond the body. that there are those among us who are called to walk these pathways, to serve as bridges between the physical and spiritual worlds. The elder begins to fade, their form growing translucent against the starry sky. Go now, they say. Continue your journey. Visit the dream realms of other peoples. Learn how they understand dreaming. But remember what you learned here. The Dreamwalker serves. The gift is not for oneself alone. It is for the people, for healing, for guidance, for maintaining the balance between worlds. The Dreamwalker feels the shift beginning again, the gentle dissolution that signals transition to another dream realm. The prairie fades. The stars reconfigure themselves. The elder's final words echo in consciousness as everything transforms. Walk carefully. Walk with respect. Walk with purpose. This is the way of the Dreamwalker. The scene dissolves completely, and the Dreamwalker tumbles through a space that is no space, a moment that is no time, toward the next destination on this long night's journey through the dreams of cultures. Hashtag Aboriginal Australian Dreamtime and Dreamwalking. The Dreamwalker's consciousness reforms in a landscape unlike anything experienced before. Red earth stretches in all directions, ancient beyond ancient, under a sky so blue it seems to vibrate with color. Rock formations rise like monuments to time itself, their surfaces carved by eons of wind and weather into shapes that suggest meaning, that whisper stories to those who know how to listen. But this is not merely the Australian outback. This is the dreaming, the dreamtime, the eternal now where creation continues, where the ancestral beings still walk, where the songs that made the world are still being sung. The Dreamwalker stands at a crossroads of songlines. They cannot see these pathways with ordinary sight, but they feel them, sense them as currents in the fabric of reality. Each songline carries a story, a melody, a sequence of landmarks and events. Each one was walked into existence by an ancestral being during the creation time, and each one can still be walked by those who know the songs. A figure approaches, emerging from the shimmer of heat that rises from the red earth. She is an elder, her skin dark and lined with age, her eyes holding depths of knowledge that transcend individual lifetimes. She carries a digging stick, and the way she moves suggests she is at home in this landscape in ways the Dreamwalker cannot fully comprehend. You are far from your own dreaming, the elder says. Her voice carries the cadence of English, but underneath it runs something older, one of the hundreds of Aboriginal languages that have carried these stories for millennia upon millennia. I seek to understand, the Dreamwalker responds. I seek to learn how your people understand dreams, how you walk the dreaming. The elder's face creases into a smile. Understand? That would take more than one dreaming. That would take a lifetime of dreamings. But I can show you something. I can show you how we do not walk the dreaming in the way you think. We do not go to the dreaming. We are always in the dreaming. It is all around us, always. It is only that in sleep, in certain places, at certain times, the dreaming becomes easier to see. She gestures with her digging stick toward the rock formations in the distance. Those stones there, to you, they're simply rocks. To us, they're our ancestors frozen in the land, still present, still watching. The dreaming is not past. It is not over. It continues. We walk in it even when awake, though most do not see. The Dreamwalker begins to perceive what she means. The landscape around them is layering, becoming multiple things at once. They see the physical desert, yes, but also something beneath or beyond it. Figures move across the land, vast figures that seem made of light and shadow and earth itself. These are the ancestral beings, the creators, still engaged in the act of singing reality into existence. This is the truth of the dreaming, the elder says. It is not a place we visit. It is the foundation of all places, the eternal ground beneath the temporary world. When we sleep, when we dream, our spirit slips sideways into the dreaming more fully, but we are always touching it, always part of it. She begins to walk, and the Dreamwalker follows. The elder traces one of the song lines, and as she walks, she begins to sing. The melody is complex, full of sounds the Dreamwalker's ears were not trained to hear, rising and falling in patterns that seem to correspond to the landscape itself. Each rise in the melody matches a hill, each fall a valley. The rhythm mirrors the pattern of waterholes and landmarks. The song lines, the elder explains between verses, are maps and stories and songs all at once. They were walked by the ancestral beings during the creation time, and by walking them and singing them, we maintain them. We keep the dreaming alive. We keep the world alive. As they walk the song line, the Dreamwalker experiences something profound. They're not simply moving through space. They're moving through story. Each step corresponds to a verse of the creation song, each landmark to a deed of the ancestral being who created this path. The past and present collapse together. The Dreamwalker is simultaneously here now and here in the eternal creation time when the ancestral being first walked this way. The landscape transforms around them. The red earth becomes more vibrant, almost luminous. Creatures appear that no longer walk the physical Australia, or perhaps never did in the way they appear here. A great rainbow serpent undulates through the sky, its scales reflecting every color, its movement creating watercourses where before there were none. Giant beings stride across the horizon, shaping the land with their footsteps. This is how it was, the elder says. This is how it is. This is how it will always be. In the dreaming, time is not a line, but a circle or perhaps a spiral. Everything that was is and will be exists simultaneously. They arrive at a water hole, and the elder kneels beside it. The water is impossibly clear, and looking into it, the Dreamwalker sees not just their reflection, but layers upon layers of reflection. They see the water hole as it is now, as it was when first created, as it will be in futures yet to come. They see the spirits that dwell in and around it, the ancestors who visit it, the animals who depend on it. Water is sacred, the elder says. It is life itself. Many of the song lines trace water, for the ancestral beings were seeking water, creating water, guarding water. When we dream, we often dream of water, for in water we see the dreaming reflected. The elder cups her hands and drinks, and gestures for the Dreamwalker to do the same. The water is cool and pure, and drinking it, the Dreamwalker feels something shift in their perception. The layers of reality become even more apparent, more accessible. In our traditions, the elder continues. Those who walk the dreaming with full consciousness are called many names. Gainkari, Wiringen, clever men or women, people of high degree. They possess the ability to navigate the dreaming more fully than ordinary dreamers. They can heal, they can harm, they can travel great distances in spirit, they can communicate with the ancestral beings. She rises and begins walking again, and the Dreamwalker notices that her footsteps leave impressions that glow softly as if her walking is adding to the songline, continuing the creation. The training of such a person begins in childhood. Often, the gift is recognized early. The child who dreams true dreams, who speaks of seeing things others cannot see, who knows things they should not know. Such a child may be taken by the elders and taught. The landscape shifts around them as she speaks, and the Dreamwalker sees visions of this training. Young initiates sitting with elders, learning songs that contain the maps of songlines, learning the stories of the ancestral beings, which are not just stories, but living histories, instructions for how to maintain the world, learning to interpret dreams, to recognize when a dream carries true knowledge versus when it is merely the mind sorting its daily experiences. The initiate must learn the sacred knowledge, the elder says. They must learn the ceremonies, the songs, the dances. They must learn which plants heal and which harm, which spirits are friendly and which dangerous. And they must learn to travel the song lines in their dreaming, to walk where the ancestors walked, to see with the sight of the dreaming. A great ceremony unfolds before the Dreamwalker's vision. Fires burn in patterns that form shapes meaningful to those who know the stories. Dancers move with ochre-painted bodies, their movements reenacting the deeds of the ancestral beings. Songs rise into the night sky, and the stars themselves seem to pulse in response, as if the cosmos recognizes and acknowledges the ceremony. This is how we maintain the dreaming, the elder explains. Through ceremony, through song, through dreaming. The dreaming is not something that happened long ago and ended. It is ongoing, and we participate in it. When we perform the ceremonies, we're not just remembering the ancestral beings. We are helping them continue their work. We are keeping the world alive. The scene transforms again, and the Dreamwalker finds themselves in what appears to be a cave. The walls are covered with ancient paintings, handprints in ochre, images of animals and beings and symbols. Some of these paintings are physical, applied with pigments and hands. Others seem to exist only in the dreaming, visible only to spiritual sight, glowing with a light that comes from somewhere beyond the physical. The rock art, the elder says, running her hand across the stone, across paintings that might be thousands of years old or might be appearing in this very moment. This too is part of the dreaming. When our ancestors painted these images, they were not simply making pictures. They were creating portals, connections between the physical world and the dreaming. A person who knows how can enter the dreaming through these paintings. She places her palm against a particular handprint, matching her hand to the ancient mark, and for a moment, past and present collapse completely. The Dreamwalker sees the original painter, sees them applying the ochre, sees the intention behind the act. It was not decoration. It was magic, a way of marking their presence in the dreaming, of saying, I am here, I am part of this, I contribute to the ongoing creation. In our dreaming, the elder says, we can meet the ancestors. We can speak with those who came before. They're not gone. They are here in the dreaming, waiting for us to remember them, to speak with them. The Dreamwalker who knows how can seek out a particular ancestor, can ask for their guidance, can learn from their knowledge. The Dreamwalker experiences a demonstration of this. A spirit appears in the cave, translucent, but somehow more real than physical reality. An ancient one, bearing the knowledge of a life lived in deep connection with this land. The spirit speaks in a language the Dreamwalker does not know, yet somehow the meaning transfers directly, mind to mind, spirit to spirit. The message is about responsibility, about how the land is not something to own, but something to tend, to care for, to maintain. About how every action in the physical world affects the dreaming and vice versa. About how the Dreamwalkers serve as bridges, helping to keep the connection strong between the everyday world and the eternal dreaming. The spirit fades and the elder continues. Our people have walked this land for more than 60,000 years. 60,000 years of dreaming. 60,000 years of walking the song lines, maintaining the ceremonies, keeping the dreaming alive. The Dreamwalkers have always been part of this. They're the ones who can move between worlds, who can bring knowledge from the dreaming into waking, who can heal the rifts when the balance is disturbed. She leads the Dreamwalker out of the cave, back into the vast landscape. The sun is setting now, though the Dreamwalker is not sure if there is truly day and night in the dreaming, or if these are symbolic representations of other transitions. The sky fills with color, reds and oranges and purples so intense they seem impossible. Look, the elder says, pointing upward. The sky. We have stories for every star, every constellation. The Milky Way, we call it the Great River in the sky. The dark patches between stars, those are sacred too. The emu in the sky, formed by the dark clouds of the Milky Way. The stories connect everything. Earth, sky, stars, spirits, animals, plants, humans. All part of the dreaming, all connected by the song lines. As darkness falls, the stars emerge, and they are magnificent. More stars than the Dreamwalker has ever seen, even in their previous dream journeys. Each one has a story. Each one is connected to earthly landmarks by invisible threads of meaning and song. When we sleep, the elder says softly, our spirits can travel these paths, can visit the stars, can speak with the ancestors who have become stars, can journey to the sacred sites, even if our physical bodies are far away. This is the gift of the Dreamwalker, to move freely through the dreaming, to maintain the connections, to bring back knowledge. The Dreamwalker feels the immensity of this understanding. The Aboriginal conception of dreaming is not just about personal visions or communications with spirits. It is about participating in the ongoing creation and maintenance of reality itself. Every dream, every ceremony, every song contributes to keeping the world alive, keeping the dreaming active. But there are dangers, the elder warns, her tone growing serious. There are beings in the dreaming that are not friendly. Featherfoot men, sorcerers who can harm through spiritual means. Moldarp, evil spirits that haunt the night. Kurdacha, who can kill with a pointing bone even across great distances. The Dreamwalker must know how to protect themselves, must know the songs and ceremonies that provide safety. Shapes move in the darkness, entities that radiate threat. The Dreamwalker feels fear, genuine fear, for these are not mere shadows. They are beings with intelligence and will, and some of them are actively hostile to living humans who venture too far into their territories within the dreaming. The elder begins to sing a protective song, and the threatening presences withdraw. This is why the training is essential. Why we do not send young people into deep dreaming without preparation. The dreaming contains wonders, yes, but also dangers. Respect must be maintained always. She turns to the Dreamwalker, her face barely visible now in the starlight. You have learned something here. You have glimpsed how my people understand dreaming, how we walk the dreaming. But remember, this is our dreaming, connected to this land, to these song lines, to these ancestors. Every land has its own dreaming. Every people has their own songs. What you do, traveling between different cultural dreamscapes, that is something rare, something powerful, but also something that requires great care. You move between, she continues. You are not fully of anyone dreaming. This gives you perspective, but it also means you must work harder to maintain your connections, to remember who you are. The Dreamwalker who belongs fully to one tradition, one land, one set of songlines, they have deep roots. You're like a bird that migrates, touching down in many places but never truly settling. There's power in that, but also loneliness. The Dreamwalker feels the truth of these words. They've been journeying through different cultural dreamscapes for so long now, learning from each but belonging fully to none. It is both liberating and isolating, this ability to move between worlds. Go now, the Elder says. Continue your journey. Visit other dreamings. Learn from other peoples. But remember what you have learned here, that the dreaming is not separate from waking, that every action has spiritual consequence, that the world is maintained by song and ceremony and conscious participation in creation. She begins to fade, or perhaps the Dreamwalker begins to shift away. The landscape of red earth and ancient stones blurs and transforms. The songlines become visible for a moment, a vast network of glowing paths crisscrossing the continent, connecting every sacred site, every waterhole, every significant landmark. The vision is staggering in its complexity and beauty. Then it too fades, and the Dreamwalker tumbles once more through the spaces between dreams, toward the next destination on this endless night's journey through humanity's sleeping visions. Cold. The first sensation the Dreamwalker experiences in the Norse dreamscape is cold. Not the comfortable cool of night air, but the deep, bone-penetrating cold of northern winter, the kind that reminds every living thing how close death always stands. They stand on a snow-covered plain beneath a sky heavy with clouds the color of iron. In the distance, mountains rise like the spines of sleeping giants. Closer at hand, a forest of pine and birch borders the plain, the trees dark against the snow. The wind carries the scent of ice and pine sap and something else, something sharp and electric, like the moment before lightning strikes. This is the Norse dream realm. It feels fundamentally different from the dreamscapes the Dreamwalker has visited thus far. There's a weight here, a sense of destiny and doom wound together, the awareness that this cosmos is moving toward an ending, toward Ragnarok, and nothing can prevent it. A figure emerges from the forest. He is tall, wrapped in a heavy cloak that might be made of wolf fur, his face obscured by a deep hood. Only one eye gleams from within that shadow, bright and knowing and ancient beyond measure. The Dreamwalker recognizes who this must be, or at least what this represents. Odin, the All-Father, the god most associated with wisdom, magic, and the secrets revealed in dreams. You walk the dream roads, Odin says, his voice deep and resonant. You seek to understand how my people knew dreaming. You shall see, but first you must understand. Among the Norse, dreams were not mere visions. They were real events, as real as anything in waking life. Perhaps more real, for in dreams, the boundaries between the 9 realms grow thin, and what is hidden becomes revealed. He gestures, and the landscape shifts. They stand now outside a small dwelling, a Norse longhouse with turf walls and a thatched roof. Through the doorway, The Dreamwalker can see a sleeping figure lying on a bed of furs. Observe, Odin says. This is dromskrock, dream nonsense, the ordinary dreaming of an ordinary night. The sleeper experiences fragments, memories of the day mixed with fantasy, images without coherent meaning. Most dreams are thus, but sometimes the scene shifts, and though they stand in the same place, something has changed. The air grows heavier, charged with significance. The sleeping figure in the longhouse begins to stir, though they remain asleep. Sometimes, Odin continues, a dream carries weight, carries truth, carries power. It is no longer dromskrock, but something more. A vision, a prophecy, a message from the gods, or the dead, or the spirits of the land. These dreams we called maindromer, evil dreams, not because they were necessarily bad, but because they carried portent, often of doom or warning. The Dreamwalker watches as the sleeping figure's spirit begins to separate from their body, rising like mist from the physical form. The spirit double stands beside the bed, looks down at its sleeping flesh, then turns and walks through the wall of the longhouse as if it were not there. The Filja, Odin explains, the spirit double that accompanies every person. In dreams, the Filja can separate from the body and travel. It can journey to distant places, can see what is happening far away, can encounter other spirits, gods, or the dead. What the Filja experiences, the dreamer remembers upon waking. They follow the spirit double as it moves across the snow-covered landscape. It travels with purpose, not aimlessly, heading towards something specific. They arrive at another dwelling, far from the first, and the spirit double enters. Inside, a sick child lies fevered on a bed. The spirit double observes, takes in the details, then departs, traveling back across the landscape to rejoin the sleeping body in the first longhouse. Upon waking, Odin says the dreamer will know of the sick child, though they had no way to know in waking life. They may travel to offer help, or send message, or simply hold the knowledge. This is one way dreams served my people, as a means of knowing what could not otherwise be known. The scene shifts again, and they stand now atop a burial mound, a great barrow where a chieftain or hero has been laid to rest. The Dreamwalker notices someone lying on top of the mound, wrapped in heavy furs despite the cold, deliberately sleeping here. Hogsvefn, Odin says, sleeping on the burial mound to induce prophetic dreams. The dead are closer here. The boundary between the living and the dead grows thin. One who sleeps here may dream true dreams, may speak with the dead who rest below, may receive visions of what is to come. As they watch, the sleeper's awareness shifts into dream. In a dream vision, the Dreamwalker sees a spirit rise from within the mound, the one who is buried there. The spirit is transparent, glowing faintly, but possesses full intelligence and awareness. The living dreamer and the dead spirit converse. The Dreamwalker cannot hear the words, but they understand the exchange. The dreamer seeks wisdom, seeks advice about some matter pressing upon them in waking life. The dead one, possessing the perspective of one who has passed beyond, offers counsel, shares knowledge of what may come to pass. The dead see farther than the living. Odin explains, they have passed beyond the limits of mortal vision. They dwell now in Hell's realm, or feast in my hall of Valhalla, or rest in their mounds, but they can be reached through dreams, through certain rituals, through sleeping on their graves. The Dreamwalker who knows the ways can speak with any who have died, can learn their secrets, can receive their guidance. The Dreamwalker feels the cold seeping deeper and realizes it is not merely physical cold but spiritual cold, the chill of death's realm, of crossing into spaces where the living are not meant to dwell for long. Odin seems to sense this. "Come," he says, "I will show you something of the Nine Realms. For to understand Norse dreaming, you must understand the structure of our cosmos." Everything transforms. They stand now at the base of an impossibly vast tree. Its trunk rises like a pillar supporting the sky, and its branches spread across the heavens, each one large enough to support entire worlds. This is Yggdrasil, the world tree, the axis around which all reality revolves. The Nine Realms, Odin says, and as he names each one, the Dreamwalker sees them arrayed through the branches and roots of the great tree. Asgard, where the Aesir gods dwell. Vanaheim, home of the Vanir. Alfheim, realm of the Light Elves. Midgard, the world of humans, Middle-earth. Jotunheim, land of giants. Svartalfheim, where the Dark Elves and dwarves work their crafts. Niflheim, realm of ice and mist. Muspelheim, realm of fire. And Helheim, the realm of the dead. Each realm has its own character, its own quality. The Dreamwalker sees glimpses of them. The golden halls of Asgard, the wild forests of Jotunheim, the forges of Svartalfheim, where dwarves work metal with magic and skill, the gray shores of Helheim, where the dead who did not die in battle make their home. In dreams, Odin says the spirit can travel between these realms. The Dreamwalker who has learned the path can journey to Jotunheim to speak with the giants, to Alfheim to learn from the elves, even to Helheim to walk among the dead. But such journeys are not without peril. The scene focuses on a particular figure, a seidr, a woman who practices seidr, the Norse magic most associated with divination and dreamwalking. She sits on a high platform, a seidr specially constructed for this purpose. Around her, others chant, helping to send her spirit forth on its journey. The Dreamwalker watches as the seidr's spirit separates from her body and begins to travel. She moves with confidence, clearly experienced in these journeys. Her spirit climbs the trunk of Yggdrasil, moving from Midgard upward toward other realms. Seidr was the magic of prophecy, of shape-changing, of affecting fate. Odin explains, it was practiced mainly by women, though some men learned it as well, myself among them, though it was considered unmanly for men to practice it. Seidr allowed one to see the future, to communicate with spirits, to travel in dreams to other realms. The seidr's spirit reaches a crossroads in the branches of the tree, where paths lead to different realms. She chooses one path and follows it, arriving in what appears to be Helheim. The realm of the dead is gray and misty, neither pleasant nor actively torturous, simply a place of shadows where those who died of sickness or age reside. She walks among the dead, seeking a particular spirit. She finds an old woman, and they speak. The conversation is animated, the dead woman gesturing emphatically, the seidr listening intently. After the exchange, the seidr turns and begins the journey back to her body. She sought advice from her ancestor, Odin says, a grandmother who possessed great wisdom in life and retains in death. The seidr will wake and remember everything. She will use what she learned to help her community, to guide those who came to her seeking wisdom. The Dreamwalker marvels at this, at how systematic the Norse approach to dream journeying was. It was not left to chance. It was a skill that could be learned, practiced, refined. There were specific techniques, specific places, specific rituals that facilitated it. But I mentioned peril. Odin says, and his tone darkens. The scene shifts, showing a different Dreamwalker, less experienced or less cautious. This one's spirit travels to Jotunheim, the realm of giants, but they venture too deep, too far from the paths they know. Something notices them, a giant, or perhaps something worse, some entity that dwells in the deep places of Jotunheim. It pursues the Dreamwalker's spirit, and the chase becomes desperate. The Dreamwalker flees, trying to find the path back to Midgard, back to their body. If your spirit is captured or destroyed while traveling in dreams, Odin says grimly, you may not wake. Or you may wake changed, damaged, part of your spirit left behind. This is why the wise Dreamwalker learns protection, learns the safe paths, learns when to flee and when they can stand and face what they encounter. The fleeing Dreamwalker barely escapes, their spirit tumbling back into their body in a panic. They wake gasping, terrified, marked by the experience. Not all journeys end well. Odin says, not all who seek to walk the dream roads return unchanged. This is the price of such power, such knowledge. The risk accompanies the reward. The landscape transforms again, and they stand now in what appears to be a great hall, a feast hall of the gods. Long tables stretch the length of the room. Warriors feast and drink. Valkyries serve mead. Fires roar in pits along the walls. This is Valhalla, Odin's hall, where the honored dead feast and fight each day, preparing for the final battle of Ragnarok. Some Dreamwalkers seek this hall in their journeys. Odin says, they seek to speak with the Einherjar, the chosen slain, to learn from great warriors of the past. Or they seek audience with me, to gain wisdom directly from the All-Father. A dreamer appears in the hall, their spirit form slightly translucent among the more solid forms of the dead warriors. The dreamer approaches Odin's high seat, kneels, and speaks. The Dreamwalker cannot hear the words, but they see Odin lean forward, listening, then responding. The god's single eye blazes with intensity as he speaks, and the dreamer listens raptly, absorbing every word. I grant wisdom to those who seek it properly. Odin says to the Dreamwalker, I am the god of knowledge gained through sacrifice. I hung on the world tree for 9 days and nights to gain the secret of the runes. I traded my eye for a drink from Mimir's well of wisdom. I seek knowledge constantly, tirelessly. Those who show similar dedication, I may reward with insight. He pauses, then adds, but I'm also a god of deception, of cunning. Not all the wisdom I grant is straightforward. Often it comes wrapped in riddles, in kennings, in poetic language that must be interpreted. The Dreamwalker who receives my guidance must have the wit to understand it. The hall fades, and they stand once more on the snowy plain where this journey began. The sky has darkened further, and the wind has picked up, carrying snow in horizontal sheets across the landscape. You have seen how my people approach dreaming, Odin says, with seriousness, with ritual, with understanding that dreams could reveal true knowledge of distant events, future happenings, the will of gods and spirits. We did not dismiss dreams as mere fantasy. We cultivated them, sought them deliberately, learned from them. He begins to fade, merging with the wind and snow. His voice comes from all around, growing more distant. The Norse cosmos moves toward its ending. Ragnarok approaches, inevitable as winter. But until that final day, we continue. We seek wisdom, we prepare, we honor the ways of our ancestors. And we remember that in dreams, the truth of all 9 realms can be glimpsed by those brave enough and skilled enough to look. The Dreamwalker feels the transition beginning once more. The Norse landscape dissolves into swirling snow, and through that whiteness, new colors, new warmth, new scents emerge. The journey continues, carrying the Dreamwalker toward the ancient sands of Egypt, where dreams were understood through entirely different frameworks of wisdom. The cold fades, replaced by warmth. Not the oppressive heat of desert noon, but a pleasant warmth, the temperature of a perfect spring evening. The Dreamwalker's feet touch not snow, but sand, and then stone, polished stone that gleams in the light of countless oil lamps. They stand in a temple. The walls rise high, covered floor to ceiling with hieroglyphs and painted images. Gods with animal heads gaze from every surface. Anubis with his jackal head, Thoth with the head of an ibis, Horus with the eyes of a falcon. The images are not merely decorative, but alive somehow, watching, aware, participating in the sacred space. The Dreamwalker finds themselves before an offering table laden with food and drink, flowers and incense. The smoke from the incense rises in lazy spirals, and breathing it in, the Dreamwalker feels their consciousness shift, becoming simultaneously more alert and more dreamlike, more aware of the layers of reality that coexist in this place. A figure approaches, moving with the measured grace of a priest. He wears white linen robes, immaculately clean, and his head is shaved according to priestly custom. Around his neck hangs an amulet of the Eye of Horus, the Wadjet, symbol of protection and wholeness. "Welcome to the House of Life," the priest says, his voice formal but not unfriendly. "You who walk between worlds, you who seek to understand the sacred art of dream interpretation. You stand in the temple of dreams. Though whether this temple exists in your sleeping vision or on the banks of the Nile in ages past, perhaps even I cannot say with certainty." The Dreamwalker bows respectfully. They have learned that each cultural dreamscape has its own protocols, its own courtesies. The Egyptian dream realm feels more structured than those they have visited previously, more ordered, more laden with precise meanings and correspondences. In the land of Kemet, the priest continues, using the ancient name for Egypt, "We understood that dreams are not born of the dreamer, but visit the dreamer. Dreams come from outside, from the gods, from the dead, from demons and spirits. The dreamer lies passive, receiving what the night brings. This is the first truth you must grasp." He leads the Dreamwalker deeper into the temple, through corridors lined with columns carved to resemble papyrus and lotus plants. The ceiling above is painted as the night sky, deep blue and starred with gold. As they walk, the priest speaks. The word we use for dream is rezut, and it means awakening. You see the paradox, yes? To dream is to awaken. When the body sleeps, the soul awakens to the true reality, the realm where gods and spirits dwell. The dream is not fantasy, but vision of what truly is, though hidden from waking eyes. They enter a chamber where several figures sleep on low beds, special beds inscribed with hieroglyphs and protective symbols. The Dreamwalker recognizes this as the practice they have read about, dream incubation, where supplicants would sleep in temples hoping to receive guidance from the gods. These seekers have come with questions. The priest explains quietly, so as not to disturb them. A woman whose child is ill, seeking a dream that will reveal the cure. A merchant who has lost a valuable cargo, seeking a dream that will show where it may be found. A scribe uncertain which path to take in life, seeking a dream that will guide him. They sleep here in the temple, in proximity to the gods, and they hope the gods will grant them useful dreams. As the Dreamwalker watches, one of the sleepers begins to stir in their sleep. Not waking, but dreaming. The Dreamwalker sees, with the special sight granted by their dreamwalking ability, that something is indeed visiting the sleeper. A presence, perhaps a god or godly messenger, perhaps a beneficial spirit. The presence enters the sleeper's dream space and begins to communicate through images and symbols. The sleeper dreams of a plant, a specific plant shown in great detail, its leaves and flowers rendered with perfect clarity. Then the dream shows this plant being prepared in a particular way, crushed and mixed with oil, then applied to skin. The meaning is clear. This is the cure for the sick child. The mother will wake and remember, and if she can find this plant and prepare it as instructed, her child will recover. The gods are merciful, the priest says softly. When properly approached with correct offerings and prayers, they grant the dreams we seek. But one must know how to approach them. One must be ritually pure, must make appropriate offerings, must phrase the request correctly. The art of dream incubation is an art indeed, not a simple matter of sleeping in a sacred space. He leads the Dreamwalker from the chamber, leaving the sleepers to their sacred visions. They move through more corridors, ascending a stairway, and emerge onto a roof terrace. The night sky spreads above them, vast and star-filled. Below, the Dreamwalker can see the Nile, flowing eternal and life-giving, its dark waters reflecting the starlight. From this vantage, the priest says, one could see the two lands of Egypt, the black soil of the Nile Valley where life flourishes, and beyond, the red land of the desert where only death dwells. Our entire civilization exists in a narrow green strip along the river. Beyond lies chaos, Isfit, the opposite of Ma'at, the divine order. He turns to face the Dreamwalker directly. Dreams, too, can come from either order or chaos. Some dreams are sent by the gods, bearers of Ma'at, containing truth and guidance. Other dreams are sent by demons, servants of chaos, containing lies and confusion. The art of dream interpretation requires knowing which is which. From within his robes, the priest produces a scroll, unrolling it carefully. Even in the dream realm, the papyrus seems real, ancient, precious. This is one copy of the dream book, the manual of dream interpretation passed down through generations of priests. It contains hundreds of dreams and their meanings, compiled over centuries of observation and divine revelation. The Dreamwalker looks at the hieroglyphs on scroll. Though they do not consciously know how to read ancient Egyptian, in this dream space, the meanings become clear. They see entries like, if a man sees himself in a dream looking out a window, good. It means the hearing of his cry by his God. And if a man sees himself in a dream with his bed catching fire, bad. It means driving away his wife. The interpretations the priest explains rely on several principles. Sometimes the meaning is literal. Dreaming of death may foretell actual death. Sometimes it is symbolic. Dreaming of death may mean the death of a project or relationship. a transformation. Sometimes it relies on wordplay. Words that sound similar in our tongue connect seemingly unrelated things. To dream of donkey meat is good because the word for donkey shares sounds with the word for great. He rolls the scroll carefully, but the dream book is only a tool. A skilled priest interpreter must consider many factors. Who had the dream, what is happening in their waking life, what gods they serve, what offerings they have made. The same dream may mean different things for different dreamers. The scene shifts, and they stand now in a different chamber, one clearly designated for medical treatment. A patient lies on a bed while a physician priest examines them. Nearby, another priest is recording something on papyrus. That scribe writes down the patient's dreams. The priest guide explains. We understand that dreams can reveal illness before the body shows symptoms. A person who dreams repeatedly of darkness may be developing an ailment of the eyes. One who dreams of drowning may have an ailment of the lungs. The dreams warn, allowing treatment to begin early. The Dreamwalker realizes the sophistication of this system. The ancient Egyptians were using dreams as diagnostic tools, recognizing that the sleeping mind perceives bodily conditions before the waking mind accepts them. But there is more, the priest says. Dreams can also cause illness. If a demon visits in a dream, their malevolent touch can create disease. This is why we have specialists, the Sao, who provide protection against harmful dreams. They create amulets, recite spells, perform rituals to ward off the evil dreams before they can manifest as physical ailment. The scene transforms once more, and they stand now beside a tomb, one of the great pyramids rising in the distance. The Dreamwalker understands they are witnessing something related to death and the afterlife, subjects the Egyptians contemplated with extraordinary thoroughness. When a person dies, the priest says solemnly, their BA, their personality or soul, separates from the body. The BA can travel, can visit the places and people the deceased loved in life. The BA can also appear in dreams to the living. If you dream of a dead relative, it is not mere memory. Is the BA of that person truly visiting you, communicating from the afterlife? As if in demonstration, a figure appears, translucent, glowing softly with an otherworldly light, clearly not alive, but possessing intelligence and awareness. This is a BA, the soul of someone who has passed through death and been judged by Osiris, someone whose heart was found to balance the feather of Maat, someone who now dwells in the afterlife. The BA speaks, though no sound reaches the Dreamwalker's ears. The communication happens directly, mind to mind. The BA is visiting a living descendant in their dreams, offering guidance, expressing continued love, warning of some danger that the living relative faces. The dead continue to care for the living, the priest says. They watch over their descendants, their families, their communities. Through dreams, they maintain contact, they intervene when they can, they bridge the gap between life and death. This is why we honor the dead with offerings, why we maintain their tombs, why we speak their names to keep their memory alive. The relationship does not end with death. It only transforms. The Dreamwalker feels the profound sense of continuity in Egyptian culture. Death is not an ending, but a transition to a different state of being. Dreams provide one of the primary means of maintaining relationships across that transition. The scene shifts yet again, and they stand in what appears to be a workshop. Amulet makers are busy at their craft, shaping metal and stone into protective symbols. The Dreamwalker sees being created the familiar shapes. The Ankh, symbol of life. The Jed pillar, symbol of stability. The Tayat knot, symbol of Isis's protection. The Eye of Horus, symbol of wholeness and healing. These amulets protect in waking and sleeping both, the priest explains. Worn on the body, they ward against harm in physical reality. Placed under the pillow or worn to bed, they protect the dreamer, ensuring that beneficial dreams can come while evil dreams are repelled. He takes one amulet, a scarab beetle carved from lapis lazuli, and hands it to the Dreamwalker. Even in the dream realm, it has weight, substance, a feeling of concentrated protective power. The scarab represents transformation, rebirth, the daily miracle of the sun's return. In dreams, it particularly guards against stagnation, against the nightmares where one feels trapped or unable to move or change. The scarab reminds us that transformation is always possible, that what appears to be an ending contains within it the seed of a new beginning. The Dreamwalker holds the scarab, feeling its smooth surface, its perfect symmetry. They understand that this is not merely a symbolic object, but something that carries actual power within the Egyptian dream framework. Now, the priest says, I will show you something few see. I will show you the journey the soul takes each night, paralleling the journey of the sun through the underworld. The temple around them fades into darkness. Not the darkness of simple absence of light, but a rich, textured darkness pregnant with meaning. This is the Duat, the Egyptian underworld, the realm through which the sun travels each night before being reborn at dawn. The Dreamwalker sees a boat, the solar bark, carrying the sun god Ra in his night form, Alpha-Ra. The boat moves through the darkness, through regions populated with gods and demons, through challenges and trials. This is what happens every night, the eternal struggle between order and chaos, between light and darkness, played out in the depths of the underworld. When a person sleeps, the priest explains, his voice now seeming to come from the darkness itself. Their BA makes a similar journey. It descends into the depths, travels through regions of the underworld, encounters the beings that dwell there. Most people do not remember this journey consciously, but it happens every night, every time they sleep and dream. The Dreamwalker watches the solar bark face its greatest challenge. Apep, the great serpent of chaos, who seeks each night to devour the sun and prevent its rebirth. Ra and his defenders battle Apep, using magic and weapons to drive the serpent back, to ensure the sun can continue its journey toward dawn. Dreams, too, are a battle, the priest says. Every night, the dreamer's soul must navigate dangers, must face challenges, must resist the forces of chaos that seek to overwhelm consciousness. The amulets, the spells, the prayers, the offerings to the gods, all these provide protection and assistance for this nightly journey. The solar bark completes its passage through the underworld and emerges into the light of dawn. Ra is reborn, transformed from his night form back into the golden disk that brings life to the world. The cycle continues, eternal, reliable, the foundation of all Egyptian understanding of time and existence. And so, the priest says as the darkness fades and they stand once more in the temple, each morning, the soul returns from its journey, reunited with the body, bringing with it whatever knowledge or messages it encountered in the depths. This is dreaming as we understand it, not a random product of the mind, but a genuine journey through realms that exist beyond waking consciousness. The priest looks at the Dreamwalker with an expression of both respect and caution. You, who walk consciously through these realms, who journey not just through your own culture's dreamscape, but through the dreams of many cultures, you undertake something we would consider both sacred and dangerous. Sacred, because you honor the reality of dreams, because you recognize they are true experiences. Dangerous, because you traverse boundaries meant to contain and protect. He places his hand on the Dreamwalker's shoulder, and though this is a dream, though neither of them exists in physical form, the touch feels completely real. Remember what you have learned here. Dreams come from outside the dreamer. They carry messages from gods, spirits, the dead. They reveal hidden knowledge, diagnose illness, offer guidance for life's challenges. They are not to be dismissed, not to be forgotten upon waking, but to be studied, interpreted, honored, and heeded. The temple begins to fade, its solid stone walls becoming translucent, then transparent, then dissolving entirely. The priest's final words echo as his form dissolves. Walk carefully between the worlds, dreamer. Honor the gods of each realm you visit. Remember that dreams are real, and what happens in dreams has consequence for waking life. The Egyptian dreamscape releases the Dreamwalker, and once more they tumble through the space between spaces, the time between times, toward the next destination on this endless night's journey through humanity's sleeping visions. The Dreamwalker's consciousness reforms in a space that defies simple description. They are nowhere and everywhere simultaneously. They sit in meditation, though they do not recall sitting, in a place that might be a mountain peak or might be the center of a vast temple, or might be neither, or might be both. The air shimmers with heat, but not oppressive heat. It is the heat of India, the warmth of the subcontinent, but also something more. It is the heat of tapas, spiritual energy generated through discipline and practice. It is the fire of consciousness itself, burning away illusion. Before the Dreamwalker, the world appears and disappears, forms and dissolves in rhythmic waves. Mountains rise and crumble to dust. Cities build themselves and decay. Forests grow and burn. Rivers flow and dry. Civilizations rise, flourish, and vanish into memory. The Dreamwalker understands they are witnessing the dance of Maya, the cosmic illusion, the play of appearances that veils the ultimate reality of Brahman. A figure sits in meditation nearby, an ascetic, a sadhu, with matted hair and ash-covered skin, wrapped in simple orange robes. Though their eyes are closed, the Dreamwalker senses the ascetic is fully aware of their presence. You seek to understand dreaming, the ascetic says without opening their eyes, without moving their lips. The voice seems to arise within the Dreamwalker's own consciousness. But first you must understand, what you call waking is also a dream. What you call dreaming is also waking. Both are illusions, projections of consciousness, waves upon the ocean of Brahman. The Dreamwalker settles into stillness, recognizing that this realm requires a different approach than the others they have visited. Here, the very framework of reality is in question. Here, the distinction between dreamer and dream, between consciousness and its objects, is being interrogated at the most fundamental level. The Upanishads teach us of 4 states of consciousness. The ascetic continues. Jagrat, the waking state. Swapna, the dreaming state. Sushupti, deep dreamless sleep. And Turiya, the 4th state, which witnesses all the others without being caught in any of them. To understand dreaming in our tradition, you must understand all four. The world around them seems to separate into layers. The Dreamwalker perceives simultaneously multiple levels of reality, each distinct yet interpenetrating the others. In Jagrat, the waking state, the ascetic says, and one layer brightens. Consciousness identifies with the physical body and perceives the external world. The Jiva, the individual soul, believes itself separate, believes the world is real and solid, believes birth and death are ultimate truths. This is the grossest level of Maya's veil. The Dreamwalker sees people going about ordinary life, farming, trading, building, loving, fighting, dying. Each one caught in the illusion that this physical existence is the totality of reality. In Swapna, the dreaming state, the ascetic continues and a different layer brightens. Consciousness withdraws from the physical senses and creates an internal world from memories, desires, fears, and impressions. The dreamer experiences this internal world as real while dreaming it. The Jiva forgets it has a physical body sleeping elsewhere. It identifies completely with the dream body and the dream world. The Dreamwalker watches as dream worlds form and dissolve, each one complete unto itself, each one seeming absolutely real to the dreamer experiencing it. A person dreams they are a king, and in that dream, they have always been a king. They have a kingdom, subjects, a palace, a history. The dream feels completely real until the moment of waking shatters it. But consider, the ascetic says, what is the difference, truly, between the waking world and the dream world? Both are projections of consciousness. Both seem real while experienced. Both dissolve and are forgotten. The waking world simply lasts longer and is shared with other dreamers. But it is no less illusory. This perspective disorients the Dreamwalker. They have grown accustomed, even through all their journeys through different cultural dreamscapes, to thinking of waking life as real and dreams as something lesser, something derivative. The Hindu framework inverts this assumption entirely. In Sushupti, deep sleep, the ascetic says, and now a third layer comes into focus, though paradoxically it is empty, void, dark, consciousness rests without subject or object. There is no dreamer and no dream, no experience and no experiencer. Only pure being remains, undifferentiated, peaceful, whole. This is the state closest to truth, yet it is unconscious, so the Jiva cannot know it consciously. The Dreamwalker observes the sleeping figure in deep sleep. No dreams disturb their rest. The breathing is slow, rhythmic, peaceful. The face is relaxed, free from the tensions that mark waking and dreaming alike. In this state, all the problems of waking life, all the dramas of dreams, have dissolved into nothingness. Yet there's a fourth state, the ascetic says, and now their eyes open, and the Dreamwalker sees in those eyes a depth beyond comprehension, a light that seems to come from beyond this reality. Turiya, the witness consciousness, the pure awareness that observes waking, dreaming, and deep sleep without being identified with any of them. This is the goal of all our practices, to stabilize in Turiya, to recognize oneself as the eternal witness rather than the temporary experiencer. The layers of reality become transparent, and the Dreamwalker perceives the light of pure consciousness shining through all of them, illuminating waking, dreaming, and sleeping equally, itself unchanged by any of them. This is what we seek through Yoga Nidra, psychic sleep, the ascetic explains. We practice maintaining awareness through the transition from waking to sleeping, through the dream state, even into deep sleep. We train consciousness to remain aware while the body and mind rest. In this way, we begin to recognize that we are not the body, not the mind, not even the dreamer, but the eternal awareness that witnesses all states. The scene transforms, and the Dreamwalker finds themselves in what appears to be an ashram, a spiritual community. A teacher guides students in the practice of Yoga Nidra. The students lie in Shavasana, corpse pose, completely relaxed. The teacher's voice is calm, steady, guiding them through the stages of the practice. Feel the body relaxing, releasing all tension. Notice the breath flowing naturally without effort. Begin to withdraw the senses from the external world. Turn attention inward. Notice the boundary between waking and sleeping. Usually we cross this boundary unconsciously, but now, maintain awareness. Stay conscious as the body falls asleep. The Dreamwalker watches as the student's consciousness navigates this delicate transition. Most of them slip into ordinary sleep, losing awareness. But one or two maintain the thread of consciousness, becoming aware that they are aware even as their bodies shut down for rest. This is the beginning, the ascetic guide says. With practice, one can remain aware throughout the entire night, can witness the arising and dissolving of dreams without identifying with them, can rest in the peace of deep sleep while knowing oneself as that which is aware of the rest. This is true Yoga Nidra, and it reveals the nature of consciousness itself. The ashram fades, and they stand now in a more traditional setting, an ancient temple built in the Dravidian style, with towering gopurams covered in carved figures of gods and goddesses. Inside the temple, priests perform elaborate pujas, offering rituals to the deities. Our gods, the ascetic says, are not separate beings dwelling in a distant heaven. They are aspects of the one Brahman, personified forces that help devotees understand and relate to the infinite. When you dream of a god, you are not merely dreaming. You are perceiving an aspect of ultimate reality that has chosen to reveal itself to you in a form you can comprehend. A devotee sleeps in the temple, and in their dream, the deity appears. Vishnu, the preserver, blue-skinned and four-armed, holding his characteristic symbols, conch shell, discus, mace, and lotus. The deity speaks to the devotee, offering guidance, blessing, insight. Is this dream real or unreal? The ascetic asks. In one sense, it is unreal, a projection of consciousness, no more solid than waking experience. In another sense, it is utterly real, an authentic encounter with an aspect of divine reality, a genuine transmission of grace and knowledge. Both are true simultaneously. This is the nature of Maya, both illusion and divine play. The Dreamwalker begins to understand the sophistication of the Hindu approach to dreams. Dreams are neither simply dismissed as fantasy nor naively accepted as literal reality. They are understood as experiences within consciousness, revealing aspects of consciousness itself, carrying potential for both illusion and insight. The scene shifts to a cremation ground beside a river, likely the Ganges. Bodies burn on funeral pyres, smoke rising into the sky. This is a place of ending and transition, where the physical body is returned to the elements. Death, the ascetic says, is compared to awakening from a dream. The lifetime just lived, with all its experiences, relationships, joys, and sorrows, is revealed as temporary, as insubstantial as a night's dream. The jiva awakens to the bardo, the intermediate state between lives, and eventually takes birth again in a new form, entering a new dream of existence. The Dreamwalker perceives the cycle of samsara, the wheel of birth and death, spinning endlessly. Each life is a dream within a dream, a temporary identification with a form and a story. The jiva forgets its true nature and believes itself to be this body, this personality, this lifetime. Then death comes, the dream ends, and another begins. The goal of all our spiritual practices, the ascetic explains, is to awaken from this cycle, to recognize that we have been dreaming lifetime after lifetime, and to awaken to our true nature as eternal, unbounded awareness itself. This is moksha, liberation, the final awakening from which there is no return to dreaming. They stand now in a place of profound stillness. Not emptiness, but fullness. Not absence, but overwhelming presence. The Dreamwalker recognizes this as a representation of Brahman, the ultimate reality, the ground of all existence, that which is beyond all description, yet is the essence of everything that exists. You are that, the ascetic says, using the famous Mahavakya, the great saying of the Upanishads. Tat tifamasi. The consciousness that looks out through your eyes is not separate from the consciousness that is the ground of all existence. The dreamer and the dream are one. The witness and the witnessed are one. Separation is the illusion. Unity is the reality. The Dreamwalker struggles to grasp this, to hold this perspective while maintaining their sense of individual identity. It is like trying to look at one's own eyes, or trying to grasp water with one's fist. The attempt itself creates the illusion of separation that prevents realization. Do not try to grasp it intellectually, the ascetic advises gently. Simply rest in the awareness that is present right now. This awareness, reading these words, experiencing this dream journey, this awareness is already what you seek. It is already awake. It has never been asleep. Only the belief that you are something other than this awareness needs to be released. For a moment, the Dreamwalker touches something beyond words, beyond thought. A recognition, a remembering of what they have always been beneath all the layers of identity and story and experience. It is like waking up within a dream and realizing you've been dreaming, except this is waking up within waking itself. Then the moment passes and individual consciousness reasserts itself, necessary for continuing the journey through different cultural dreamscapes. The ascetic smiles, a smile of infinite compassion and patience. You have glimpsed something. That is enough for now. Continue your journey. Visit the dreams of many cultures. But remember, you are not truly traveling. There is nowhere to go, for consciousness is already everywhere. You're simply exploring different aspects of your own infinite nature. The temple begins to dissolve, the vibrant colors fading into white light, then into darkness, then into the formless space between dreams. The ascetic's final words echo. All dreams are one dream. All dreamers are one dreamer. You are that. The Dreamwalker tumbles once more through the void between realms, carrying with them a dizzying expansion of perspective, a loosening of the certainty that any one reality is more real than any other. The formless void solidifies into form, but a form quite different from anything the Dreamwalker has experienced thus far. They stand in a traditional Japanese room, a tatami room with sliding shoji screens, simple and elegant in its minimalism. A low table sits in the center, and beside it, a small vase holds a single branch of plum blossoms, perfect in its asymmetric beauty. Outside the screens, the Dreamwalker can hear rain falling. The particular sound of rain in Japan, gentle and pervasive, creating a cocoon of white noise that separates this interior space from the larger world. The sound is soothing, meditative, creating an atmosphere conducive to introspection and dreaming. The Dreamwalker realizes they are not alone. A figure kneels on the other side of the table, a woman wearing a beautiful kimono patterned with cranes and clouds. Her face is painted white in the style of a geisha or perhaps a supernatural being, her eyes dark and knowing. "Welcome to the realm of Yum," she says, her voice soft but carrying an undertone of something not quite human. "You have journeyed far tonight, through many dreamscapes, many understandings of what dreams are and mean. Our understanding is different from those you have encountered, yet it shares common threads." She pours tea from a simple iron kettle into 2 small cups. The tea steams, filling the room with a delicate fragrance. She offers 1 cup to the Dreamwalker with a graceful gesture. "In our culture," she continues, "the boundary between dream and reality is deliberately blurred. We do not seek to draw a sharp line between them. Dreams are extensions of life, and life contains dreamlike elements. Both are real, both are ephemeral, both are meaningful, both are ultimately temporary." The Dreamwalker sips the tea. It is matcha, slightly bitter, with a lingering sweetness. Drinking it, they feel their awareness sharpening, as if the tea were specifically formulated to enhance consciousness within the dream realm. "The word Yum means dream," the woman explains, "but it carries connotations beyond simple, sleeping visions. Yum can refer to daydreams, to aspirations and hopes, to visions and prophecies. A person's life dream, their ambitions and goals, is their Yum. The dreams that visit them in sleep are also Yum. We see these as connected, as expressions of the same fundamental reality, that consciousness creates experience, whether waking or sleeping. The screens slide open of their own accord, revealing a garden outside. But this is not an ordinary garden. The rain that falls is visible, each drop distinct and sparkling with inner light. The plants in the garden move and shift, sometimes appearing completely realistic, sometimes transforming into something more stylized, more like ink paintings come alive. "Yum no Sirii," the woman says, gesturing to the garden. The dream spirit is both a concept and an entity. It represents the spirit of dreaming itself, the force that creates dreams and guides dreamers through the night. But it is also a specific being that can appear in dreams, particularly nightmares, carrying messages from the spiritual realm. As she speaks, the Dreamwalker sees a figure move through the garden. It is difficult to focus on directly, as if it exists slightly out of phase with normal perception. The figure is both beautiful and disturbing, both alluring and frightening. It moves among the rain and the plants, and where it passes, the reality of the garden shifts, becoming more dreamlike, more fluid. "Yum no Sirii brings nightmares," the woman says, "but these are not mere torments. They are messages, warnings, opportunities for growth. The nightmare that wakes you in terror may be showing you something you need to see, something you have been avoiding in waking life." The dream spirit serves as a teacher, though its lessons are often harsh. The Dreamwalker recalls their own experiences with nightmares, the fear and helplessness, but also the insights that sometimes came from reflecting on them afterward. They understand what the woman means. Nightmares, though unpleasant, can be valuable. But we also have protection against nightmares that serve no purpose, the woman continues. We have the Baku. The garden transforms, and a creature appears. It is like nothing the Dreamwalker has seen in waking life. A chimera with the trunk of an elephant, the body of a bear, the paws of a tiger, the tail of an ox. It is both whimsical and majestic, both friendly and powerful. The Baku eats dreams, the woman explains. Specifically, it eats bad dreams, nightmares, the dreams that disturb and distress without teaching anything useful. When one wakes from a nightmare, one can call upon the Baku. Say 3 times, Kono Yum, Baku, and I Ajamsa. I give this dream to the Baku. The creature will come and devour the nightmare, ensuring it never returns. The Baku moves through the garden, and where it walks, the disturbing elements of the landscape are consumed, leaving behind only peace and beauty. The Dreamwalker can feel the creature's benevolent presence, its desire to help, its role as protector of sleepers. But one must be careful, the woman warns. If one calls the Baku too often, if one gives it too many dreams, it may become greedy. It may begin to eat good dreams as well as bad, may begin to consume hopes and ambitions, leaving one empty of desire and aspiration. The Baku must be called only when truly needed. The Baku fades back into the dream mist, and the garden shifts again. Now the Dreamwalker sees a figure creeping through the room where someone sleeps. This figure is small and mischievous-looking, moving with exaggerated stealth. The Makurageshi, the woman says, and there is amusement in her tone. The Pillow Flipper, a yokai, a supernatural being that enters rooms where people sleep and moves their pillows. Sometimes it simply flips them, turning them around. Sometimes it moves them to different locations in the room. The Dreamwalker watches as the Makurageshi carefully lifts a sleeper's head, slides the pillow out from beneath it, carries it across the room, and places it in a completely different spot, all without waking the sleeper. This seems merely mischievous. The woman says this seems merely mischievous. The woman says, but it carries deeper significance. The pillow in our tradition is a threshold object, a magical device. When you lay your head upon your pillow, you enter the doorway to the dream realm. The pillow is the bridge between waking and sleeping. If it is moved while you sleep, your spirit, which has left your body to wander in dreams, may not be able to find its way back. You may become lost in the dream realm, your spirit unable to reunite with your body. The Dreamwalker feels a chill. This is more serious than it first appeared. The Makurageshi, for all its playful appearance, is genuinely dangerous. Most people, the woman continues, wake naturally before harm is done. Their spirit finds its way back despite the moved pillow. But those who are deep dreamers, those who wander far in their dreams, they are at greater risk. This is why many of our people keep charms near their beds, protections against supernatural interference with sleep. The scene shifts, and the Dreamwalker finds themselves in a different room, one decorated with charms and talismans. Omamori, protective amulets from Shinto shrines, hang near the bed. Ofuda, paper talismans inscribed with sacred names and prayers, are pasted on the walls. A small Daruma doll sits on a shelf, its eyes painted in, its presence warding off evil. Protection is important, the woman says. The dream realm, in our understanding, is populated with many entities. Some helpful, some neutral, some actively harmful. The dreamer must be protected, must have defenses, must know how to navigate safely. She leads the Dreamwalker from this room into a hallway, and as they walk, the architecture becomes older, more traditional. They are moving back in time, the Dreamwalker realizes, toward more ancient understandings. They enter a room where an aristocrat sleeps on a futon, attended by a lady-in-waiting who watches over the sleeper. Beside the bed sits a folding screen decorated with images of mountains and waterfalls. In ancient times, the woman explains, important people often had attendants watch over them while they slept. This was partly for physical protection, but also for spiritual protection. The attendant could wake the sleeper if they began to have a nightmare, could call them back if they wandered too deep into dreams, could prevent interference from malevolent spirits. The sleeping aristocrat begins to dream, and the Dreamwalker sees the dream manifesting. The aristocrat dreams of a garden, a perfect garden more beautiful than any earthly garden could be. Flowers bloom in impossible colors. Water flows in streams of liquid light. The dreamer walks through this paradise, at peace, happy. This is an auspicious dream, the woman says. There is one more thing you must understand, the city says. The Otherworld is not a single place. It has many realms within it, many layers. There is Tir Na Nog, the land of youth, where time does not touch and all is eternal summer. There is Magmel, the pleasant plain, a paradise of peace and plenty. There is Tek Duin, the house of dawn, where the dead gather. And there are many others, each with its own character, its own rulers, its own laws. The mist swirls, and the Dreamwalker sees glimpses of these different realms. Tir Na Nog, bathed in golden light, with a city dance eternally. Magmel, green and flowering, where fruit ripens continuously on the trees. Tek Duin, gray and somber, where the shades of the dead await rebirth or final dissolution. To dreamwalk among the Celts, the city continues, is to have access to all these realms. The skilled Dreamwalker can navigate between them, can visit the land of youth to seek wisdom from the ancient city, can travel to the House of Dawn to speak with the dead, can journey to any of the Otherworld's many provinces. The city turns to face the Dreamwalker directly, their silver eyes reflecting depths beyond comprehension. But remember, we are not subject to mortal ethics. We do not lie, but we delight in misdirection. We keep our bargains to the letter, but we interpret them in ways mortals do not expect. To deal with us, even in dreams, requires caution. Many who have sought us found more than they bargained for. The Dreamwalker feels the truth of this warning. The city are beautiful, yes, and they offer genuine knowledge and power, but they are also dangerous, alien in their thinking, playing by rules that mortals do not fully understand. Yet despite the dangers, the city says, and their expression softens slightly, we have always had relationships with certain humans. The poets, the dreamers, the seers, those who have the gift of walking between worlds. We teach them our arts, share with them our music and poetry, grant them visions. And in return, they maintain the memory of us. They honor the old ways. They keep the veil permeable. The mist begins to thicken, obscuring the city's form. Their voice comes from everywhere and nowhere. You are one such Dreamwalker. You walk between not just two worlds, but many. You carry the memories of many cultures' dreams. This is a rare gift. Honor it. Use it with wisdom. And remember, the veil is always thin for those who know how to see. We're always here, watching, waiting, ready to welcome those brave enough to cross the threshold. The city's presence fades completely, and the Dreamwalker stands alone in the mist. But the mist itself is changing, warming, becoming drier. The coolness of the Celtic lands gives way to different air, different scents. The journey continues, pulling the Dreamwalker toward one more ancient civilization, one more understanding of what dreams reveal and conceal. The mist dissipates completely, replaced by air that is hot and dry, carrying the scent of sand and sun-baked earth. The Dreamwalker finds themselves standing on a dusty plain, and in the distance, they can see the magnificent ziggurats of ancient Mesopotamia rising like artificial mountains toward the sky. This is one of humanity's first great civilizations, the land between the rivers, where writing was invented, where cities first rose, where humans began to organize themselves into complex societies with specialized roles and sophisticated belief systems. The Dreamwalker approaches the nearest ziggurat, climbing its broad steps. Each level represents a stage of ascent toward the divine, toward the heavens where the gods dwell. At the summit stands a temple, and as the Dreamwalker reaches the top, they find someone waiting for them. She is a priestess, dressed in elaborate robes that mark her high status. Her hair is intricately braided and adorned with beads of gold and lapis lazuli. Around her wrists are bands of precious metal, and in her ears hang earrings shaped like crescents. "Welcome, dream traveler," she says in Akkadian, though the Dreamwalker understands her perfectly in this dream space. "You come seeking knowledge of how we understood dreams, we who dwelled in Sumer and Akkad, in Babylon and Assyria. Come, I will show you what we knew." She leads the Dreamwalker into the temple at the ziggurat's summit. The interior is dim and cool, a relief from the harsh sun outside. Statues of gods stand in alcoves, their eyes inlaid with precious stones that seem to glow with inner light. The largest statue depicts a goddess with flowing robes and a serene expression. "This is Mamu," the priestess explains, daughter of Shamash, the sun god, daughter of Utu. She is the goddess of dreams, the one who sends dreams to humanity, who carries messages from the divine realm into the sleeping minds of mortals. The Dreamwalker gazes at the statue, sensing the presence behind it, the actual goddess that the stone represents. In this dream realm, the divine is not distant, but intimately present, accessible. "We understood dreams as communications," the priestess says. "When you dream, you're not merely processing your daily experiences or working through psychological issues. You're receiving messages. The gods speak through dreams. The demons speak through dreams. The dead speak through dreams. Dreams come from outside the dreamer, carrying information, warnings, guidance." She gestures to a clay tablet that sits on a table near the goddess's statue. The tablet is inscribed with cuneiform writing, the wedge-shaped characters pressed into the clay before it hardened. "This is a copy of the dream book, the Iskar's Akik," she says. "It contains interpretations of hundreds of different dreams, compiled over generations of observation and divine revelation. If a person has a significant dream, they bring it to a priestess or priest who knows this text, and we provide the interpretation." The Dreamwalker examines the tablet, and again, though they cannot read cuneiform with their waking mind, In this dream space, the meanings become clear. They see entries like, if a man flies repeatedly in his dream, whatever he owns will be lost. And if a man gives birth to a daughter in his dream, worries that he has will come to an end. The interpretations, the priestess explains, sometimes rely on symbolic opposites. To dream of birth may mean death. To dream of death may mean long life. To dream of wealth may mean poverty is coming. To dream of poverty may mean wealth will arrive. The dream world inverts the waking world in mysterious ways. She leads the Dreamwalker from the temple, descending the ziggurat, and they walk through the city streets. People go about their daily activities. Artisans crafting pottery and weaving cloth, merchants haggling over prices, scribes recording transactions on clay tablets, children playing in the dusty streets. But not all dreams require interpretation from a priestess, the priestess says. Some dreams are clear in their meaning. Some contain messages delivered directly by gods or spirits in recognizable form. These dreams we call true dreams, and they require no interpretation, only action in response to what was revealed. They arrive at a house, and inside, the Dreamwalker sees a merchant sleeping on a reed mat. The merchant is dreaming, and in the dream, the goddess Ishtar appears, unmistakably herself, speaking clearly. Your caravan will be attacked by bandits 3 days' journey to the north, the goddess says in the dream. Take the southern route instead, though it is longer. I have blessed that path, and you will arrive safely with your goods intact. The merchant wakes, and the Dreamwalker sees him immediately acting on the dream. He changes his plans, chooses the southern route, and though his journey takes longer, he arrives safely with his cargo, while news later reaches him that another caravan taking the northern route was indeed attacked and robbed. This is a message dream, the priestess explains. The deity appeared directly, spoke clearly, provided specific actionable information. There is no need for interpretation. The dreamer needs only the wisdom to recognize a true divine dream and the courage to act on its guidance. The scene shifts, and they stand now in a palace. A king lies sleeping on a magnificent bed draped with fine linens. Guards stand watch, and nearby, a dream interpreter waits, ready to be summoned the moment the king wakes if he has had a significant dream. Kings and rulers, the priestess says, depended heavily on dreams for guidance. We have records of kings consulting dream interpreters before major decisions, before battles, before building projects. Dreams were considered one of the most reliable forms of divination. The king dreams, and the Dreamwalker witnesses the vision. The king sees a great tree, tall and strong, reaching toward the sky. Then he sees the tree being cut down, its trunk split, its branches scattered. The dream fills him with dread. He wakes and immediately summons the dream interpreter. The interpreter listens carefully to the description, consults the dream texts, performs additional divination using oil and water to clarify the meaning, and finally provides the interpretation. The great tree represents your kingdom, your majesty, strong and reaching toward the heavens. The cutting down of the tree represents a threat from enemies who wish to see your kingdom fall. But note, in the dream, though the tree was cut, its roots remained in the ground. This means that though trials are coming, your kingdom will survive. From the roots, new growth will emerge. You must prepare for the attack, but you can be confident in ultimate victory and renewal. The king, reassured by this interpretation, takes action. He strengthens his defenses, rallies his troops, prepares for the coming conflict. And when the attack comes, as predicted, his kingdom survives because he was ready. This is the power of dream prophecy, the priestess says. The future is revealed, not with perfect clarity, but with enough information to prepare, to act, to change outcomes that might otherwise have been disastrous. They leave the palace and walk along the banks of one of the great rivers, either the Tigris or Euphrates. The water flows broad and brown, carrying life to the civilization that depends on it. Palm trees line the shore, and boats ply the river, carrying goods and people. There's another type of dream, the priestess says, that we particularly valued: the dreams sent by the dead. When someone dies, their spirit does not simply vanish. It descends to the underworld, the realm of Ereshkigal, but retains awareness, memory, concern for the living. The dead can send dreams to their descendants, warning them of dangers, advising them on matters the dead understand better from their perspective beyond death. They approach a tomb, and the Dreamwalker sees a woman sleeping near it. This is another form of dream incubation, sleeping near the grave of an ancestor to receive a dream from them. The woman dreams, and in the dream, her grandmother appears, looking as she did in life, but somehow more luminous, more ethereal. "My granddaughter," the ghost says, "listen well. The man who seeks to marry you is not what he appears. His debts he has not disclosed. He has another wife in another city. If you marry him, you will face hardship and betrayal. I have seen this from where I dwell, and I come to warn you. Refuse him. Wait, the right person will come, but this man is not he." The woman wakes, troubled by the dream, but trusting her grandmother's wisdom. She refuses the man's proposal, despite the social pressure to accept. Later, everything the grandmother said is proven true. The man did have hidden debts and another wife. The woman's trust in the dream saved her from a disastrous match. The dead know things, the priestess says simply. They see farther than the living. They love their descendants and wish to protect them. Consulting the dead through dreams is a sacred practice, one we perform with proper rituals and respect. The scene shifts once more, and they stand in a temple complex, but a different one from before. This temple is darker, more ominous. The statues here depict demons and evil spirits, beings that must be propitiated and warded against. Not all dreams are beneficial, the priestess says, her tone grave. Some dreams are sent by demons, by evil spirits who wish harm to humans. These dreams cause fear, create illness, lead to misfortune. We must identify such dreams and take action to nullify their power. A person comes to the temple, frightened by a nightmare. They describe the dream to a priestess specialized in dealing with evil dreams. The dream contained images of death and destruction, of loved ones suffering, of terrible things happening to the dreamer. The priestess performs a ritual. She lights incense, recites protective spells, creates a small clay figure representing the dreamer, and performs actions that symbolically break the power of the evil dream. She gives the dreamer amulets to wear, teaches them protective prayers to recite before sleep, and assures them that the power of the nightmare has been broken. We do not simply interpret dreams. The priestess explains to the Dreamwalker. We also manage them. We protect against evil dreams. We encourage good dreams. We perform rituals to induce prophetic dreams when answers are needed. Dream work is one of our most important priestly functions. They walk now through a marketplace, and the priestess points out various specialists. A woman who sells amulets for dream protection, a man who offers his services as a dream interpreter to those who cannot afford the temple priestesses, a vendor of herbs and incenses said to promote prophetic dreaming. Dream interpretation and management permeate our society, the priestess says. From the lowest laborer to the highest king, everyone pays attention to dreams. Everyone knows that dreams carry meaning. Everyone seeks to understand what their dreams reveal. They return to the ziggurat where this journey through the Mesopotamian dream realm began. The sun is setting now, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. The ziggurat's shadow stretches long across the plain. You have seen how we understood dreams, the priestess says, as communications from gods, demons, and the dead, as prophecies that reveal the future, as warnings that allow preparation, as messages that require interpretation by skilled specialists who know the symbolic language of dreams. She pauses, looking out over the city that is beginning to light evening lamps, creating a constellation of tiny lights that mirrors the stars emerging above. Your journey through the dream realms of many cultures is nearly complete, she says. You have learned that every civilization has valued dreams, has developed sophisticated understandings of what dreams are and mean. We humans are dreamers. We have always been dreamers. And those rare individuals who can consciously navigate the dream realm, who can walk between waking and sleeping with full awareness, they have always been valued, feared, honored, and consulted. The priestess begins to fade, her form becoming translucent against the darkening sky. Remember what you have learned, Dreamwalker. Dreams are real. They are messages, visions, journeys to other realms. They connect us to the divine, to the dead, to the depths of our own consciousness. Honor them, interpret them, learn from them, and walk safely between the worlds. Then she is gone, dissolved into the evening air, and the Dreamwalker stands alone atop the ziggurat, looking out over ancient Mesopotamia as night falls and stars begin to appear, the same stars that guided Sumerian astronomers thousands of years ago. The Dreamwalker feels the pull of transition once more, but this time it is different. They are not moving toward another cultural dreamscape, but rather towards something else, something that will tie together all they have experienced on this long night's journey. The Dreamwalker finds themselves in a space that is difficult to describe. It is not any particular place, but rather all places simultaneously. They see around them fragments of all the realms they have visited: the red earth of Aboriginal Australia, the snow-covered plains of Norse lands, the temples of Egypt, the ashrams of India, the mist-shrouded thresholds of Celtic lands, the ziggurats of Mesopotamia, the tatami rooms of Japan, the prairie landscapes of Native American traditions. All of these exist together here, overlapping, interpenetrating, creating a tapestry of human dreaming that spans cultures and millennia. The Dreamwalker realizes they are in a metaspace, a place that exists above or beyond the individual cultural dreamscapes, a place where the connections between them become visible. A figure stands before them, but this figure is unlike any they have encountered before. It is neither clearly male nor female, neither young nor old, neither of any particular culture nor of all cultures. It seems to be composed of light and shadow in equal measure, constantly shifting, never quite solidifying into a fixed form. "Welcome," the figure says, and their voice contains harmonics that resonate with all the voices the Dreamwalker has heard throughout this night's journey. I'm the dream itself, the principle of dreaming that exists in all humans, in all cultures, in all times. I am what you have been seeking to understand through your journey. The Dreamwalker bows, recognizing that they are in the presence of something fundamental, something archetypal. You have walked through many dreamscapes tonight. The dream continues. You have seen how different cultures understand dreaming, how they value it, how they work with it. Now, I will help you see the patterns that connect them all, the universal truths that underlie the diverse expressions. The space around them shifts, and the Dreamwalker sees all the dreams they have witnessed arranged in a vast mandala-like pattern, each cultural understanding occupying a particular position, yet all connected by lines of light that show their relationships. First, the dream says, notice that every culture you visited treats dreams as real, not as mere fantasy, not as meaningless neural noise, but as genuine experiences that carry significance. Whether they are understood as messages from gods, journeys to other realms, communications from the dead, or glimpses of the eternal dreaming, they are real. This is the first universal truth. Humans know, deeply know, that dreams matter. The Dreamwalker sees this truth illuminated across all the cultures. Despite their vast differences in cosmology, theology, and worldview, they all agree on this fundamental point. Second, the dream continues. Notice that every culture you visited recognizes that some people have a special gift for working with dreams. The Native American Dreamwalker, the Aboriginal Ngankuri, the Norse seidr, the Egyptian priestess, the Hindu yogi, the Japanese dreamer, the Celtic seer, the Mesopotamian interpreter. The specific roles differ, the training methods differ, but the recognition that some people can navigate the dream realm with unusual skill is universal. Again, the pattern illuminates, showing the dreamwalkers of different cultures arrayed around the mandala, each unique yet all serving similar functions. Bridging worlds, interpreting symbols, guiding others, protecting against harmful influences. Third, the dream says, notice that all these cultures develop techniques for working with dreams. Dream incubation, sleeping in sacred places, performing rituals before sleep, maintaining awareness during the sleep transition, protecting against nightmares, interpreting symbols. The specific techniques vary, but the recognition that dreams can be cultivated, that they are not merely random events, but can be influenced and directed, this is universal. The Dreamwalker sees the various techniques overlapping. The Native American Vision Quest and the Egyptian Dream Incubation, both involving intentional seeking of significant dreams in sacred spaces. The Hindu Yoga Nidra and the Japanese Buddhist lucid dreaming, both involving maintaining consciousness through sleep. The Norse practice of sleeping on barrows and the Mesopotamian practice of sleeping near tombs, both seeking communication with the dead through dreams. Fourth, the dream says, notice that all these cultures recognize dangers in the dream realm. Evil spirits, demons, getting lost and unable to return, exhaustion from too much dreamwalking, encountering beings more powerful than oneself. The dream realm is not a safe playground, but a real domain with real risks. The Dreamwalker must be trained, protected, cautious. The darker aspects of each tradition illuminate. The malevolent spirits in Native American dreaming, the featherfoot men of Aboriginal tradition, the evil dreams sent by demons in Norse and Mesopotamian belief, the harmful yokai of Japan, the dangerous aspects of the city. Every culture warns against the perils that accompany the powers of dreamwalking. Fifth, the dream says, notice the role of the dead in dreams across cultures. The Norse dead who can be consulted by sleeping on their graves, the Aboriginal ancestors who exist in the dreaming, the Egyptian Ba visiting the living, the Mesopotamian ghosts sending warnings, the Celtic dead who could be reached by crossing into the otherworld. Death does not end consciousness in these traditions, and dreams provide one of the primary means of maintaining contact across that boundary. The Dreamwalker sees the shades of the dead moving through the various cultural dreamscapes, maintaining their connections to the living, offering guidance, seeking to be remembered, participating in an ongoing relationship that transcends physical death. Sixth, the dream continues. Notice that all these cultures recognize that dreams can reveal hidden knowledge. Knowledge of distant events through the Native American Filja journey. Knowledge from the eternal dreaming of Aboriginal ancestors. Prophecy from the Norse gods. Diagnosis of illness in Egyptian dream interpretation. Insight into Maya in Hindu practice. Messages from Kami in Shinto dreams. Prophecies and warnings in Mesopotamian dream books. Dreams grant access to information unavailable through ordinary waking consciousness. The various forms of knowledge flowing through dreams illuminate across the mandala. Prophecies, diagnoses, warnings, guidance, spiritual teachings, hidden truths. And finally, the dream says, notice that every culture you visited understands dreaming as a sacred activity. Dreams connect humans to the divine, however the divine is conceived in that culture. To the gods and spirits, to the ancestors, to the dreaming, to Brahman, to the Kami, to the otherworld, to the realm of the dead. Dreaming is inherently spiritual, inherently religious, inherently a participation in the sacred. The mandala as a whole now glows with light, each cultural dreamscape contributing its unique color and pattern, yet altogether forming a unified whole that is greater than the sum of its parts. This is what you have learned, Dreamwalker. The dream says that beneath the diversity of human cultures lies a unity of understanding about dreams. All humans dream. All cultures value dreams. All traditions recognize that some people can navigate dreams with unusual skill. All have developed practices for working with dreams. And all understand dreams as a connection to something greater than ordinary waking consciousness. The dream moves closer to the Dreamwalker, and for a moment, the Dreamwalker sees themselves reflected in the dream's shifting form. They see their own journey, night after night of dreamwalking, visiting different cultural dreamscapes, learning from each, accumulating wisdom from across human history and geography. You are rare, the dream says softly. Most people are confined to the dream framework of their own culture. They dream within the mythology they were raised with. They interpret their dreams according to the symbols they learned. But you have learned to move between frameworks. You can visit the Aboriginal dreaming, then shift to the Norse realms, then to the Egyptian afterlife, then to the Hindu layers of consciousness. You have become a true dreamwalker, not bound by any single tradition, but able to navigate them all. The Dreamwalker feels the weight of this, the gift and the burden. To walk between all worlds is to fully belong to none. To understand all traditions is to be rooted in no single one. Yet this is necessary, the dream says, seeming to read these thoughts. In your time, in your world, cultures have mixed in ways they never did before. People are no longer confined to the mythology of their ancestors. They encounter multiple worldviews, multiple spiritualities, multiple understandings of reality. Someone must be able to walk between them, to show that they are not contradictory but complementary, not exclusive but different faces of the same fundamental truths. The dream gestures, and the mandala begins to rotate, each cultural dreamscape taking turns at the center, showing how each one, from its own perspective, contains the whole truth, yet benefits from seeing how other perspectives illuminate different aspects. The Native American understands dreaming as service to the people, as maintaining balance between physical and spiritual worlds. This is true. The Aboriginal understands dreaming as participating in the eternal creation, in maintaining the song lines. This is also true. The Norse understands dreaming as preparation, as receiving prophecy about fate that cannot be changed but must be met with courage. True again. The Egyptian understands dreaming as messages requiring interpretation by skilled specialists. The Hindu understands dreaming as one layer of Maya, pointing toward ultimate reality beyond all layers. The Japanese understands dreaming as a realm where beauty and impermanence intertwine. The Celts understand dreaming as threshold crossing to the otherworld. The Mesopotamians understand dreaming as communication from gods, demons, and dead. All true, all partial, all necessary perspectives on the whole. The Dreamwalker begins to see how each cultural dreamscape is like a facet of a gem, each one catching the light differently, each one revealing something unique, yet all part of the same precious stone. This is what you carry now, the dream says. The ability to see dreaming from multiple perspectives simultaneously, to recognize that no single framework contains the whole truth, yet each framework contains genuine truth. This makes you valuable, but also lonely. You belong everywhere and nowhere. You are at home in all dreamscapes and in none. The Dreamwalker acknowledges this truth. They have felt it in their journeys, the strange displacement of being able to visit but never truly inhabit, to learn but never truly belong. Yet there is purpose in this, the dream assures them. You are a bridge. You show that the human experience of dreaming, despite its cultural diversity, points toward universal truths. You demonstrate that spirituality is not about finding the one true way, but about recognizing that the one truth expresses itself through many ways. The mandala begins to fade, the individual cultural dreamscapes dissolving back into the formless space. The dream itself begins to fade, its shifting form becoming more and more transparent. It is almost dawn, the dream says. Your journey through this long night is ending. Soon you will wake, and you will carry with you the memories of all you have witnessed. Use them wisely. Share what you have learned. Help others to see that dreams are real, that they matter, that they connect us to depths of reality usually hidden from waking consciousness. The Dreamwalker feels their own consciousness beginning to rise, like a diver ascending from great depths toward the surface. The journey is ending. Morning is coming. The return to waking life approaches. Remember, the dream's voice comes from all around, fading but still present. You are not simply an observer of dreams. You are part of the dreaming. The dreamer and the dream are one. The consciousness that observes is the same consciousness that creates. You walk between worlds, but you are never separate from them. You are the dreaming itself. exploring its own nature through your journeys. The last of the metaspace fades away, and the Dreamwalker finds themselves in that familiar transitional state, neither fully asleep nor fully awake, suspended between the night's visions and the day's reality. They can feel their physical body, can sense the room around them, can hear the sounds of morning beginning outside. But they also still carry the dream, still feel the presence of all the realms they visited, all the teachers they met, all the wisdom they received. For a few precious moments, they exist in both worlds simultaneously, dream and waking, seeing how thin the veil between them truly is, how arbitrary the distinction. Then gently, inevitably, they cross the threshold. Their eyes open. They are awake. The night's journey is over. Yet it is not forgotten. It will never be forgotten. The Dreamwalker has added another night's wisdom to their growing understanding. They have walked through the dreams of humanity, and in doing so, they have come to understand something fundamental about what it means to be human. We are dreamers. All of us. Always have been. Always will be. And in our dreams, we touch something beyond ourselves, something sacred, something real. The cultures may differ in how they name it, how they approach it, how they understand it, but the experience is universal. Dreams are real. Dreams matter. And there are those among us who walk between the worlds, who navigate the dream realm with conscious awareness, who serve as bridges between waking and sleeping, between human and divine, between the known and the mysterious. The Dreamwalker rises from their bed, moves into the morning, carries with them the night's wisdom into the day's activities. But already, even as they engage with waking reality, a part of them is preparing for the next journey, the next dream, the next opportunity to walk between the worlds and explore the infinite landscapes of human consciousness. For this is their path, their calling, their gift, and their burden. They are the Dreamwalker, and the realms of sleeping and waking, of myth and reality, of individual and collective consciousness. These are their territory, their home, their endless domain of exploration. And so, dear listeners, we come to the end of our journey for tonight. We have followed the Dreamwalker through the sleeping visions of many cultures, seeing how humanity across time and geography has valued dreams, has recognized them as real and meaningful, has developed sophisticated practices for working with them. We have walked the song lines of Aboriginal Australia, learning that the dreaming is eternal, that it underlies and interpenetrates all reality, that consciousness participates in ongoing creation. We have stood in the cold winds of Norse lands, learning that dreams bring prophecies of fate, communications from the dead, visions of the gods, and the Nine Realms. We have received teachings in Egyptian temples, learning that dreams are messages from outside the dreamer, sent by gods and demons and ancestors, requiring skilled interpretation. We have meditated with Hindu ascetics, learning that waking and dreaming are both Maya, both illusory projections of consciousness, both pointing toward the ultimate reality of Brahman that witnesses all states without being caught in any. We have sat in Japanese rooms, sipping tea with mysterious figures, learning that beauty and impermanence intertwine, that life and dreams are equally transient and equally precious, that protective spirits guard us while mischievous yokai test us. We have walked through Celtic mists into the Otherworld, learning that the veil between worlds grows thin in certain places and times, that the cities still dwell just beyond perception, that dreams offer passage to realms of eternal youth and beauty. We have climbed Mesopotamian ziggurats, learning that dreams have been systematically interpreted for thousands of years, that they were understood as prophecies and warnings, as communications from a divine realm intimately involved with human affairs. And we have walked the sacred plains with Native American elders, learning that dreamwalking is service, that the gift is given for the benefit of the people, that dreams maintain the balance between physical and spiritual worlds. Each culture offered its unique wisdom, yet underlying all of them, we found universal truths. Dreams are real. Dreams matter. Some people can navigate dreams with special skill. Dreams can be cultivated through practice and technique. Dreams carry both opportunities and dangers. Dreams connect us to the dead, to the divine, to hidden knowledge, to depths of reality inaccessible to ordinary waking consciousness. These are not ancient superstitions to be dismissed. These are insights carefully developed over millennia of human experience with dreaming. Every culture that has ever existed has paid attention to dreams, has found meaning in them, has recognized them as spiritually significant. This universality suggests something profound, that dreams genuinely do offer access to dimensions of reality beyond ordinary waking perception. In our modern world, dominated by materialist science, we have largely forgotten this wisdom. We have been taught that dreams are merely the brain processing information, sorting memories, random neuronal firing without inherent meaning. This explanation, while containing some truth, misses something crucial. It treats consciousness as a mere epiphenomenon of matter, rather than recognizing that consciousness may be fundamental and matter may be what appears within consciousness. The dream-walking traditions of all these cultures offer an alternative framework. They suggest that consciousness is not confined to the physical brain, that during sleep the spirit or soul or awareness can separate from the body and journey to other realms. They suggest that these realms are real, populated by entities that have their own existence independent of human imagination. They suggest that information can be gained through dreams that could not be obtained through ordinary sensory channels. Is this literally true, or is it metaphorically true, a way of describing internal psychological processes? The wisdom traditions would say this question itself is based on a false dichotomy. The literal and the metaphorical, the external and the internal, the objective and the subjective. These boundaries are not as solid as we think. Dreams exist in a liminal space where these categories blur and intermingle. What matters, these traditions would say, is not believing in a particular metaphysical theory about dreams, but rather developing a practice of attention to dreams, of working with them, of learning from them. Whether you interpret your dreams as messages from gods or as communications from your own unconscious, whether you see dreamwalking as literal journeying to other realms or as a metaphor for exploring deep layers of psyche, the practices remain valuable. Pay attention to your dreams. Keep a dream journal. Notice patterns. Learn the symbolic language your particular consciousness uses. Practice maintaining awareness as you fall asleep. Experiment with dream incubation, setting an intention before sleep for what you wish to dream about. Create protections, whether you conceptualize them as spiritual wards or psychological boundaries. Honor the gift of dreaming as a sacred aspect of human consciousness. And perhaps, if you feel called to it, if you discover you have the gift, you might become a dreamwalker yourself. not in the sense of literally walking into ancient mythological realms, though who knows what is truly possible, but in the sense of consciously navigating your own dream space with awareness and purpose, of learning to lucid dream, to maintain consciousness while the body sleeps, of exploring the vast interior landscapes that open up when ordinary waking consciousness relaxes its grip. The Dreamwalker whose journey we follow tonight represents something available to all of us: the capacity to take dreams seriously, to learn from them, to use them as tools for growth and understanding. Their ability to walk through multiple cultural dreamscapes represents the opportunity we all have in our multicultural world to learn from many traditions, to draw wisdom from diverse sources, to create our own synthesized understanding that honors the truths found in many paths. We live in a time of unprecedented access to information about cultures across history and geography. We can learn about Aboriginal Dreamtime and Norse prophecy, about Hindu Maya and Japanese Yum, about Celtic Otherworlds and Mesopotamian dream interpretation. We can draw from all these wells of wisdom, creating our own practice that integrates what resonates from each. This is not cultural appropriation, but cultural appreciation. Not stealing, but learning. Not disrespecting traditions, but honoring them by taking them seriously enough to learn from them. The Dreamwalker walks between worlds with respect, with humility, recognizing that they are a guest in each cultural dreamscape they visit, grateful for what each teaches. And so, as you drift towards sleep tonight, perhaps you will find yourself walking similar paths. Perhaps you will visit one of the dream realms we have explored tonight. Perhaps you will meet the Aboriginal elder beside the waterhole, or the Norse seidr traveling between the Nine Realms, or the Egyptian priestess interpreting symbols, or the Hindu ascetic pointing toward consciousness itself, or the Japanese woman serving tea in the tatami room, or the Celtic city emerging from the mist, or the Mesopotamian priestess atop the ziggurat, or the Native American elder teaching the ways of dreamwalking. If you do, remember, you are not imagining them, or rather, the distinction between imagining and encountering becomes meaningless in the dream realm. Everything you experience in dreams has a reality, even if not the material reality of waking life. The beings you meet carry genuine wisdom, even if they are aspects of your own consciousness reflected back to you in personified form. Dreams are real. Dreams matter. You are a dreamer, and in your dreams, you touch something infinite, something mysterious, something sacred. Honor that. Pay attention, learn, grow, and perhaps one night, you will find yourself walking consciously through the dream realm, a dreamwalker in your own right, exploring the vast territories of consciousness that open up when the waking mind finally rests. Before I let you drift off to sleep, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this exploration of dreamwalking traditions across cultures, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps me continue creating these deep dives into mythology, lore, and the sacred stories that have shaped human consciousness across millennia. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode, and feel free to leave a comment sharing your own experiences with dreams or which cultural tradition resonated most strongly with you. Sleep well, dear listeners. May your dreams be vivid and meaningful. May you remember them upon waking. May you learn from them. And may you walk safely between the worlds, wherever your consciousness journeys while your body rests. Until next time, when we explore another corner of human mythology and imagination, I wish you deep rest, meaningful dreams, and the wisdom to integrate what you learn in sleep with what you do in waking. Good night, sleep well, and dream deeply. The journey continues always. For as long as humans sleep, we will dream. And as long as we dream, the dream realms will exist, waiting for those brave enough and curious enough to explore them. The Dreamwalker's journey never truly ends. It only pauses, resting between one night's exploration and next. And perhaps, just perhaps, you will join that journey. Perhaps you already have, without fully recognizing it. Perhaps tonight will be the night you remember. The night you wake within the dream and realize, I am dreaming. And in that moment of realization, you will become what you have always potentially been, what humans have been since the beginning. A dreamer, a walker between worlds, a consciousness exploring its own infinite nature through the landscapes of sleep. Welcome to the journey. Welcome to the dream. Welcome home to the vast territories of consciousness that are your birthright, your nature, your true domain. Now rest, sleep, dream, and walk safely between the worlds. Good night.